I was in 5th grade when my teacher assigned the largest project I had ever been given up to that point. We were told to give a presentation on a famous person who made an impact in people's lives. This person must be someone who we admire and want to live up to. My first thoughts were that I would give the presentation on my mom. Of course, when I told my teacher who I was going to give my presentation on, she looked at me and said, "Now, Anne, is your mother famous?" I replied, "Well, no, but I do admire her. I want to live up to what she does." I was back at the beginning and stumped on who I admired most. It was not until I got home and my mother suggested that I give my presentation on Mother Teresa. This was my turn to say, "But Mom, Mother Teresa is not famous." My mom laughed at me and said what any good mother would. "Honey, a famous person does not have to be a person who stars in movies or is on the cover of a Hollywood magazine. A famous person can be a simple person who makes a difference in other people's lives. They are famous for their actions and not for their looks." I remember staring back at her and thinking, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I contemplated our conversation for hours. I did my own research and looked up at every famous person I could think of. I googled Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, J.K. Rowling, Vanessa Hudgens. I asked, what do they do for others? I realized what my mom said about what makes a person famous is not by their looks, but their actions, is very wise. I finally googled Mother Teresa on my own and found all the amazing deeds she had done for others. I had found that Mother Teresa was an Albanian woman who worked in Calcutta, India, and dedicated her life for helping the poor. I discovered that she is known for helping the poorest of the poor, and that her action includes helping with those suffering from leprosy, the disease that causes the body to become paralyzed. People with leprosy tend to be neglected and unwanted by others. I learned that she started several hospitals that are dedicated missionaries of charity. I learned that she cared for the needs of everyone, and not for those of just the higher class. I came to the conclusion that I was going to write my report on Mother Teresa. I was still nervous that she was not a well-known figure, but I came to the conclusion that a woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize for her humanitarian actions is as famous as a person can get. Since 5th grade, I have been inspired and modeled my life after Mother Teresa. I follow in her footsteps when she says, quote, "Let no one come to you without leaving better and happier. Be the living expression of God's kindness, kindness in your face, kindness in your eyes, and kindness in your smile." End quote. I do my best to walk around with a big smile. I make time for others and help with whatever they need. I make sure that everyone who comes to me leaves happier, whether that's a smile in the halls or a wave by as I pass on the streets. Along with smiling to show kindness, I believe it's important to give back to your community. Similarly to how Mother Teresa saw a need in her community, I saw a need in my own. 5 years ago, I noticed that my friends on my high school cross-country team were going through used running shoes fairly quickly, and that they were just sitting in their garages waiting to be thrown away. At the same time, I was working with refugees and noticed that they were struggling to integrate into society. I learned from my own experiences that running formed my community, and I wanted to share my passion with others. I ended up combining my two passions of helping others and running to form a new running community. My idea turned into a nonprofit organization called Running for Refugees, or R4R, where I collect used running shoes and distribute them to those in need, while learning the benefits of running. My actions were learned through example from Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa's quote of being the living expression of kindness and making sure that everyone who comes to me leaves happier. I believe in kindness through expressing yourself through smiling and giving back to your community. I truly believe that kindness is the most important thing in this world, and that it may sound cheesy, a little quirky, or just a little too generic, But I just remember this. A little smirk on your face can change your emotions and can change someone else's life for the better. So be the living expression of someone who you admire. Thank you.